video, we'll be going over multiplying and dividing exponents. And before we get started, let's go ahead and review some of the quick rules that we had to go over earlier. Remember, anything to the zero. Actually, let's just write this across the top because I might need that space. Anything to the zero equals 1. Anything to the 1 equals itself. And then remember, we'll talk about the negative exponents here in a minute. So let's jump right in and look at question number 1. So remember, when we're multiplying exponents, we got to multiply the numbers in the front first. So 2 times 2 is 4. Oops, that is not a 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And then since this k has 3, and this k over here has 1, remember, if it's nothing there, you put 1 there, then you add those two. So you're going to end up with 4k to the 4th. Okay, let's look at number 2. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply 2. This 3 times the 2, because you multiply the numbers in front, that's going to be 6. Now I have to combine my x's, this one and that one. Well, that x to the 0 really means 1. Or you can say 2 plus 0. This 2 plus this 0 is still just 2. Okay? Because remember, the rule is when you have your bases, a base of a number times the same base of the other number ends up being that base, and then the numbers plus each other. That's the one we talked about in class, okay? Let's look at number 3. Let's see if it looks like it's a little bit more tricky, but not really. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. But now we have 2 different variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color my A's green and my B's blue. Okay? And remember, when I have this A and there's not a number on it, I'm going to put 1. So how many A's do I have? Well, I have 3 here, 1 there. That makes A to the 4th. And then I have 3 B's here, 3 B's there. That means I have 6 of them, because remember, we are adding those. Okay? So let's keep going. Ooh. So now look at the very front one. There is no number there. Or is there? We can actually put the number 1. Actually, let's do a different color. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I thought it would look be better, but it didn't. So let's try this again. This is going to be a 1 right here. So I got this 1 times negative 3 times negative 2, and you'll end up with positive 6. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3, and then negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. And now, again, I have to color coordinate. I'm going to make my M's blue and my N's, let's make those purple. Then I got to combine all my terms that are the same color. So my M's, I got 3 here, 2 here. Oh, I got 1 down here. So 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 1 is 6. And then let's see, how many N's do I have? I have 3 right here, plus 2 more right there. That's 5, plus 3 more. That's going to be 8. Okay. All right. Those first 4 were addition. Now what we're going to do, we're going to jump down here and do division. Now here is, remember the rule I told you about division? Let's kind of like draw this line. to refresh our memory about this rule. So I'm going to put the rule like right in the middle about negative exponent. So remember, when you have a negative exponent, negative exponents always like to move. Negative exponents like to move. If my exponent is on top of the fraction, let's say this, let's say that's the case. Remember, if my exponent is negative and it's upstairs, it doesn't like living up there, so it needs to move downstairs. So now it's positive down here, and that number just stays the same, and vice versa. So remember, exponents like to move. So x to the negative n is equal 1 over x to the positive n. That's the actual rule right there. But what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and jump right in here and see what we can get with these. All right, so for these, I'm going to actually just kind of like write them separate, and this kind of helps a little bit. So if I have 3 times n to the negative 3 all over n squared. Well, remember, because this n is not happy up there, it needs to move down. So n cubed to come down here with those n squares. And then you're left with just the 3 on the top. And there are 2 n's here, 3 n's here. So that's a total of 5 n's. Because what's really happening is when we put it down here, it ends up multiplying. So it's equivalent to saying n squared times n cubed, which is what we were just doing a minute ago. Okay? Let's look at number 6. Now, this is where it gets kind of fun. I'm going to write them separate. 2 times x to the 4th over 3 times x to the 4th. Now, this official rule of when you're dividing is a, let me do a different color because I'm using blue right here. It's a to the n divided by a to the m. Actually, I think I put m and n in class backwards. So let's do that right now. A to the m divided by a to the n equals a to the m minus n. So we're going to end up subtracting, but that's the official rule, but that's not really how you want to do it if you want to save yourself some time. Now remember, this is equivalent of saying 2 times, and then there's 4 x's. And on the bottom, that's equivalent of saying 3, and then there's 4 x's. And then what's going to end up happening is these are going to cancel, these are going to cancel, these are going to cancel, and those are going to cancel. That's going to leave me with just 2/3. Or you could have looked up here and said, well, 4 of those x's are going to cancel with 4 of those x's, leaving me with just 2/3. Now, this way is cool and all, but when the questions get a lot bigger, you don't want to have a whole bunch of letters just flying everywhere. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at number 7. Again, I'm going to rewrite my stuff so, I have some space down here. I got 4, and then I got times m to the negative 3 times n to the positive 4 all over 3 times m times n. First thing I suggest you do, split those so you can take care of each thing one at a time. Can anything happen to the 4 and the 3? No, that can't be reduced. So I'm going to leave 4 over 3 here. And then what happens with that m to the negative 3 on the top? It's negative up there. It's so sad it's upstairs. So what do you need to do? It needs to move downstairs. Once it moves downstairs, it's a happy cubed. And now I have a total of how many m's down there? 4. Don't forget there's a 1 right here. And finally, we're going to have this 1n is going to cancel with one of those, leaving me with 3. So I have n cubed on the top. Okay? So I have 4n cubed on the top and 3m to the 4th power on the bottom. And our final question in this video. So again, I'm going to split these. So I'm going to put this 2. And just because I like my letters to be in order, I'm going to put my a to the 4th first. Times b. And then I'm going to do 3 times a cubed times b squared there. And then, of course, what I want to do first, I need to split this stuff. And then I'm going to have 2 over 3 because we can't do nothing with that. 3 of these is going to cancel with 3 of those, leaving me with the 1 on the top. This 1 right here is going to cancel with 1 of these, leave me with 1 on the bottom. Or you could just write 2. You don't actually even have to have these ones. So ta-da, they disappear. So this is my final answer. The more you do these, the better you will get at them. This is going to be the first video of probably of 2 that I'm going to be creating for this unit. If you have any questions, let me know. See you in class.